Hi there guys, welcome to the DJI channel, thank you very much for tuning in. And in this video we're gonna have a look at this radio, this transmitter from Wfly or Wfly. It's quite a luxurious radio, I think. Have a look at the specs there in the description of this video. I'll also tell you the specs, right? So you don't have to look at those specs. Yeah, and obviously we're gonna test this radio. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the brand. The brand might be new to you. Wfly or Wfly. From that Wfly name you can tell that they originate from the airplane and drone, mostly airplane world, if you will. Yeah. In this video I'm gonna tell you all about this Wfly X9, a 9-channel service radio with touchscreen, etc. Here we go.
You serious?
So guys, Wfly, right? Or Wfly. That, I guess that name bites them a little bit now that they are branching out into the service market. And you might have never heard of this brand. They originally only operated in China. They are a relatively well-known brand, but only in China. Yeah, so they are definitely not as big as, say, FlySky or Eversky, but so with this X9, this is basically their second radio with which they branch out to other places in the world, to the rest of the world. A service radio and a 9-channel radio with a color screen, and it's a touchscreen even, and it has voice telemetry or voice feedback. For instance, it can give you alerts about the range or the battery voltage in voice. So it has a lot of knobs and switches, more than most other radios. Pretty luxurious. And even the price is pretty okay. I guess that figures right. They are trying to work their way into the market. So to start out with, their prices are nice and low. Just like in the phone market, unknown brands start out with low prices. And for that money, you get a pretty nice radio. It's an unknown brand, yes, but it feels like a well-built radio. Alright, so I have to correct myself a little bit. The price is higher than I thought it was. Originally the pricing at, for instance, Banggood was approximately 90 euros, I think. By now it's more than, it's like 150 euros. Which is still an appropriate price, I think, for this radio, but yeah. Unknown brand, right? What are you getting yourself into? Yes, it is also less than what you pay for competitive products or products from other manufacturers with the same specs, but still, 150 euros is 150 euros. That's not beans. You can get service radios for far less, as you know. However, 9 channels, that would make you think that you've got a lot of knobs and such to address those channels, to use those channels. And you wouldn't be wrong. Obviously you've got a steering wheel which feels very nice, very nice. Rubber, what is this? Well, a nice squishy surface, and the action feels nice. The travel is kinda small, by the way. It's might be a little bit smaller than what I'm used to. So yeah, faster action, but after a couple of minutes you'll be used to it, but that's what I noticed. Obviously you've got a throttle trigger over here, which is adjustable with a couple of screws, so you can adjust the travel of the throttle. So those are your basic inputs, right? You got a momentary switch over here and another momentary switch over here. Not sure if you'll be able to see that one. Okay, so, and let's see, you've got a rotary knob over here. You've got another rotary knob over here, but this is a combined rotary knob and push switch. 2-position push switch. Okay, you've got a trim switch over here, you've got a trim switch over here, you've got a trim switch over here, you've got a 3-position switch over here, and you've got a 3-position switch over here. Yeah, and the nice thing is that all of the switches, even the trim switches, can be addressed to any channel. So yeah, it wouldn't be practical of course, but if you'd want to steer your whatever car or boat with a trim switch, you can. Or with a knob, which is probably more appropriate, a boat, possible, or a digger, some kind of, well, equipment. Possible to use steering on something else than the steering wheel. Maybe even these 3-position switches. Who knows? Again, I'll show you the menu system in a minute. In that menu system you can again address most any switch to any channel or action. Very nice. Let me however show you something realistic. I mean, you will probably be using the steering wheel for steering and a throttle for powering your car, right? But let's say, for instance, I want to use this push button here for channel 4. I actually do want to use that. So what you do, you go into the menu over here, and setting up the channels is an advanced feature. You don't want to do that every day, right? Once you've set up your model, it's an advanced thing. So advanced menu and click, and channel settings. First option over here, channel settings. So in this screen over here you can assign again the controls to channels. And I must say that the wording is sometimes not all that clear, but it's not horrible, and after a while you'll know the radio and know what you want to do. Okay, so that switch here is PS3, push 3. And we scroll down to PS3. Now I actually already have channel 4 assigned to that PS3, as you can tell. But you can open the menu over here and, well, channel 5, 6, 7, whatever you want, or throttle off, channel 3, anything. But okay, so channel 4, and okay, and as you can tell, my steering is actually set to steering, and throttle is set to throttle, or the trigger. So this is again a little bit, well, not that clear, but again, after a while, you know what it means. So then let's have a look at our channel outputs. I've got that actually set up to this push button over here. That's also assignable, but again, I've got that set to that switch, hartstikke. And here we have our channels, and steering is channel 1, throttle, channel 2, and this button we've set that should be channel 4. Click, 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 click. And is it actually channel 5? Did I misset? Maybe I maybe I missed the button because the camera is in the way. But as you can tell, yeah, I've probably missed it while selecting it. Okay, but as you can tell, we've got that push button set up to a channel. Very simple, and again, most any switch on this radio you can set to a channel. Very flexible, and you got a lot of channels as well. 9 channels, right? That's definitely more than on a regular radio. Still, this is not a super duper cheap radio, so does it feel right? Yeah, it does feel. You've got some rubber gripping over here and some rubber gripping over here, so it's reasonably comfortable. I'd say it's not a heavy radio, and at this moment there are 4 AA's in the bay over here in the bottom. You can replace that with a LiPo if you want to, by the way, but it comes with a tray for 4 LiPos, and in mine that's a little bit rattly. Wfly has told me that they'll fix that. I complained about that, and they will add foam blocks. If you order this radio, you'll get foam blocks to prevent that. So, okay. Then all these switches and knobs. First of all, again, the steering wheel feels fine. Throttle is adjustable and feels fine. This switch over here is easy to reach while using the radio, while driving. So if you want to switch gears with that knob, that's possible. This switch over here, I definitely use for something that's non-critical. That's really hard to reach and actuate. Yeah, maybe it should be raised a little. This switch over here is easy to actuate. This one definitely not. Hard to reach and hard to feel and actuate. Yeah, okay, this knob over here, this is again a rotary knob, not a push knob. This one, yeah, it's easy to reach, but I definitely not use it while driving. Maybe if you want to use this for a water cannon on a boat, for instance, something non-critical. This one, however, this rotary... This rotary switch over here is easy to reach while driving, and the knob especially. Very useful. The trim switches are easy to use and easy to reach. These 3-position switches, well, this one mostly. The top one is very easy to reach. The bottom a little less, but still definitely usable. Yeah, then we've got an on-off switch, which is, okay, so you have to press it a few seconds to turn on the radio, which is great. Same for turning it off. Then over here, we've got a rubber seal protecting the USB port and a trainer port. Yeah, trainer port if you want to, well, assist someone else, learn someone or teach someone to drive. That's possible with these radios, if you have 2 of them at least. The USB port is only for firmware updates, regrettably. I've tried, but you can't use this radio for simulator use or games as a, well, a game input device. A joystick, if you will. Okay, single use, only firmware updates with this USB-C, by the way. And you can't charge the radio either from that port. You'll have to charge the batteries separately. Yeah, okay, so touchscreen, very usable. And I'm not even sure if it has a calibration somewhere to calibrate the touch screen, but I haven't had to. It works fine. It's well visible. In a minute we'll take the radio outside and see if it's legible outside, usable outside, right? Then the last thing is this antenna, which can be folded out. Yeah. If you feel like your range isn't enough, you can fold that out and improve the range. But I don't think most people will have to. This is a LoRa system. And you might have never heard of LoRa systems. That's supposed to be a long-range system. And for instance, FlySky uses a LoRa system in their NB4 as well. So yeah, that radio definitely has great range.
Alrighty guys, here we are with the Wfly X9 radio and a Traxxas Slash and a mostly vacant parking lot over here. And I think that car over there, you'll probably be able to see the car, is on its way. Yeah, there it goes, it's gonna leave. So what we'll do is I'll drive the Slash to the end of this parking lot over there. By that time I can kind of hardly see what the car is actually doing. So, and I'm not gonna fold out the antenna. That antenna, I'm not gonna fold it out, so I guess this is a worst case scenario. I can still extend the range if it wouldn't get there, but I suspect it will. Okay, car's gone, let's do some driving. I haven't even trimmed. Yeah, it needs a little bit of trim from the looks of it. Okay. We are pretty far out, and again, by now I'd need an FPV car, almost. I can hardly see what the car is doing. So, also the radio would, yeah, I need to do some trimming, but the radio would actually complain if the connection was limited. RSSI low, for instance, so I'll try the other way around as well.
Receiver battery 5.8 volts.
Okay, it's constantly telling me the status of the receiver battery. You can switch that off. I guess for petrol models that would be handy. But okay, you know what? range looks fine. So let's do a little more driving to get a feel for this radio. This car I'm driving is obviously not a high-speed track racer of in any capacity at all. So lag, I don't think I would sense lag differences. I previously drove this car with the FlySky NB4, which is a radio with a fast connection, low lag. And with this Wfly radio, just like on the FlySky radio, you can disable telemetry. And with the telemetry disabled, the speed of your connection would be better if you need that. But yeah, it works. It is a comfortable radio to use, and apparently no range issues. Maybe it would be an idea to test this radio in a boat as well. Let me know in the comment section below if that would be useful to you. In a speedboat with a spray, a hex spray. That oftentimes blocks signal, as you probably know if you run boats. So for cars, so far I like this radio. You know what, I will probably end up using this radio on one of my crawlers. Because that crawler has more functions. Of course this slash has only 2 functions or 2 channels. But this radio with all its channels, even then it would be more than I need. But yeah, you probably know that I have the Traxxas Bronco crawler with a gearbox and lockable diffs, so that would be probably more appropriate for this radio. But yeah, this works. Nice radio. I wouldn't complain. Yeah, it's a nice radio. So you know what? Let's get back to the bench, and I'll give you my closing thoughts on this Wfly X9.
So guys, the Wfly or Wfly X9 service radio. Who knew? Right? Yeah, so this is actually my second experience with the brand. I reviewed an airplane radio before this one. I was impressed, genuinely impressed by that airplane radio, and this one feels like a proper radio as well, this X9. Oh, by the way, it comes with one receiver, this receiver here, and this is a 6-channel receiver. So I guess at the time I'm making this video, it is a 6-channel setup. They will be making more receivers, bigger and smaller. And so yeah, what are my thoughts on this radio other than it feeling well built? I'd say that it's worth its price. However, it's an unknown brand for most people in this world. For Chinese people, this brand might be familiar, but for the rest of us, this will be a new brand. So approximately 150 bucks. That's not cheap for a radio. It might be worth it. Well, I'd say it is actually worth it. But will a lot of people be buying this radio, it being an unknown brand? I'd say that this is more directed at Wfly than at users. I'd say lower the price a little or add something. Like actually a pouch. A carrying protective pouch, that would be a genuine upgrade. Won't cost that damn much, but maybe a pouch like this. Well, this one is too small, but of this material, semi-hard case pouch to protect your radio. That would be nice, especially with a touch screen. Oh, by the way, that touch screen is legible outdoors. But it's also reflective, so sometimes you'll have to angle the radio around a little bit to see the actual screen, but it is legible outdoors. Yeah, I'd say I can recommend this radio. Again, this is my second Wfly radio. Also, I won't be getting rid of this radio. Ordinarily I often sell or give review items away after I'm done with it. Again, this one I'll be using for one of my crawlers. It's a very nice radio, and if I want to share models, this will be a nice radio to hand someone, right? A very nice radio to hand someone. So with that said, I can also maybe do a like a boat review with this radio to see how that works out. Tell me your thoughts on this brand and, well, this radio in this case. What do you think? Would you invest $150 in a radio that I think you would agree looks well built? It is well built, but you won't know what you're getting into, right? So I'd be interested to see what you think of that, and if you think it would be worth $150. Again, that is less than, say, a FlySky NB4 Noble. Right? And this radio has more features. And that wraps this review up. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video. Bye bye.